I'm Mia.
I'm Yasmin.
I'm Joshua.
And today we're making Harry Styles.
Understoodish.
So welcome to our podcast. We're going to be breaking down the song Aperture by Harry Styles. We're going to be talking all things music video. And we're just going to dive into it, talk about the lyrics, do what our podcast does best. Obviously, this is our first episode, so let us know what you think of it. Let us know how you feel, if you're vibing, and give us some more suggestions for songs you want to hear.
Yeah, we have our Instagram, Understoodish Pod.
Yeah.
If you're an
Great
artist.
plug.
So, yeah, if you want to DM us and want us to cover stuff, you know where to go.
Drop us a DM, guys. Right, where should we start? The Aperture single, it was the leading single of the
Kiss all
album.
the time, disco occasionally.
Yeah, a lot of people are calling it Kissco because it's like kiss all the time
heard
and it's
that.
disco. Yeah, it's the Kissco era.
It came out a couple months ago now, though, didn't it?
Yeah.
So it's been a few months. The whole album's out now.
So, if you guys don't mind, I was watching like the Zane Lowe interview while you guys were on your way here, just to get some context on like what he wanted to say on his album and his project. And pretty early into the interview, he talked on Aperture and he said it shifted his desire. He shifted his desire to replicate hearing brilliance in a song. So he watched an interview with Fortet talking about recognizing something brilliant in a song and wanting to also make something brilliant. When a song touches you, when a song moves you.
Yeah.
I think, a little bit of a jump, but I feel like there's parts of like the album that do correspond that in like the instrumentation.
Wow. Okay. What do you feel? Do you feel like Aperture is that? You can say.
I don't know if Aperture is much. I think Coming Up Roses.
Nice. How do you feel?
About Aperture and its brilliance.
Do you think there is brilliance in Aperture or just the album overall?
I think a lot of my thoughts when like listening to it for this was kind of like, it's a bit of like a half-baked thought. I think the brilliance was like thought of. I think there was a spark of an idea. Yeah, I think that it's just he doesn't have the full willpower to go all the way with it, I think.
Okay. He said it was a pivotal moment in the making of the album. And he said, Aperture felt like the start. It's about the moment of realising you're wrong about something. You can move forward when you acknowledge the things you don't know and give yourself space to let light come in. And he said it's the freest song on the record. It's the most fun and playful.
I think it might come across as the meaning for the rest of the album, maybe like what sparked him to write it.
Mm-hmm.
I think on the Genius interview, he like, well, there was like, when I read the lyrics, there's a bit on there where he talks about what he thought, and he said that like he felt like it should have been the first track because it kind of encapsulates the whole feeling of the album. But then I feel like when I listened to it, I didn't know that I felt that Aperture connected with the rest of it to me.
Yeah.
It does feel quite different production-wise, I'd say, to some of the songs.
It does feel quite,
I think,
elevated.
it's like, you need to listen to an album lots and lots and lots of times to get it in your head. I feel like maybe with more listens, I need to like evaluate on if it's all works together, but I think a lot of the songs are quite different.
Like if it's cohesive within
Yeah.
the album.
Yeah.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
Should we start deep diving through the song?
Yeah, of course. What have you got?
Yeah.
Take the lead if you want.
For me, I think a really important part was the start of the second verse. The lyric is, I've no more tricks up my sleeve, game called, review the player. And I did quite like that.
Okay.
I think he almost feels that he's at that state, like you said, of opening up to something about like, I might be this messy person, I might have chaos around me, and like maybe I can let you in. And then I remember like obviously the lyric after time codes, Tokyo scenes, it's kind of like the time codes obviously talking about like the camera time code at the bottom.
Oh wow.
Or at least that's
okay.
kind of the interpretation that some people had.
He's capturing memories in Tokyo.
And I kind of interpreted like the difference between a time code and a Tokyo scene. The time code on the camera is like, it's always going to be there. It's quite like still. It's quite factual, it's like not changing.
Mm-hmm.
And the Tokyo scene is very chaotic, it's futuristic, it's always changing, it's always moving.
So a juxtaposition.
Yeah, and maybe that's why afterwards, obviously, I don't get the bad boys thing, but then he says it's complicated.
This
like,
might be a complete reach, to be honest, but I thought that it's kind of common in like maybe Japanese drama that there's usually like a bad like boy character essentially who end up having like a much deeper plot line to them and a lot of character development. And I didn't know if like that's what he was trying to go for, saying it's much more complicated in people's minds than they come across. I don't know if that's complete reach.
Okay. No, it's an interpretation at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's something
It's what you think, and if like this is what I love about music, you can connect the dots almost for an artist, because I've seen like quite a few things where people have been like reviewing a song and the artist has been like, it can mean that.
Yeah.
Sure.
Like, didn't write it like that, but that works.
Definitely not what I had in mind, but absolutely, you go for it.
I'm not an expert in Japanese drama, but like I think tends to have like those storylines and plot lines of like character development, especially in like I feel like male characters.
No, I like it because it does feel like a song of like reflection and trying to make yourself better. He did also mention in the Zane Lowe interview that while he was on tour, he was talking to his therapist and he felt that he wasn't actually doing work on himself, he was just doing therapy to tick a box.
To make it feel like he was actually
so
on it.
That interpretation, for me, I get it. Like I if I'd have thought of it first, I'd have been like, that's solid.
And I guess it is quite nice for like us music lovers and listeners that like in reality he was like, therapy wasn't really doing anything for me, it was ticking the box, but then he felt like the music was what kind of opened that door and was able to like start the process by making the album.
Address that problem.
I think writing a song about a really vulnerable topic can take a lot for a person, and maybe it's even harder than therapy, I'd say.
Like
you want to
releasing
avoid
it into the world.
You're
confronting it.
Therapy is very confidential, and that is now one of the biggest songs in the world. So.
And I hate to jump to another section, but the confrontational aspect of the song is very apparent in the music video. Very apparent and having a breakthrough. But we can get onto that in a bit.
Yeah, no, we'll definitely get onto the music video. I've got some.
But we obviously know that that's a big part of what the song is and the message of Aperture. What have I got? What did I want to talk about? Let's have a little gander. The first lyric, take no prisoners, I think when you're saying take no prisoners, for me, I think that's very, I inferred that as he's talking to a lover or a past lover, and he's saying, don't let what endeavours we went on our relationship, like don't let bad experiences with me or the way I've treated you or anything I've said affect how you are in future or you are in future relationships. I think it's like don't take anyone else prisoner, like just leave me aside, I guess.
A similar point, you've divulged like more into like the specifics, like the relationship, which I agree with. I put that he doesn't want anybody to take the blame for his actions or his own faults. Like he doesn't want her to think that.
Doesn't want it to spiral.
Maybe
her?
Her? Who knows?
Her? They? Who knows?
Yeah.
The relationship, if it is about a relationship, that maybe he doesn't want them to take the blame and think that they can't move forward in their life because he's been so closed off in his. Maybe.
Definitely. I think, especially because it is such a vulnerable song, it might be like his invulnerability being the issue, being like, okay, don't let what's happened in the past affect you. I'm about to change and have a big breakthrough and go on a journey of like self-reflection and change.
I don't know if it's just me though. I think the fact that the song is about invulnerability is kind of like an ironic thing, because for me, I think the vulnerability does peek through in certain parts of the song. Like, for example, I think the pre-chorus, like, it's best you know what you don't, Aperture lets the light in. I think that's quite a nice poetic way of saying that, like, I want to, like, shine a light on things that maybe I've left in the dark for too long. But it feels like there is this invulnerability in the way that he's performing this to the world, in the fact that I think he's kind of not letting it all hang out. I don't think he's getting gritty enough with it, that like to really let people in and be like, this is what I've been hiding, this is what I'm ashamed of, which maybe he didn't want to. That's his problem.
I think that's what
you know,
I kind of got maybe from like the trapdoors "You're Toying With Me." I know the "You're Toying With Me" might be directed at, it could be someone, but I feel like it might be in his like his own thoughts. It might not even be about a person in particular. It might be about himself.
Oh wow.
So like trapdoors tend to appear like open into something where you've got to go head first, or like you've got to go full in.
Like sometimes you fall
And
through them.
and you sometimes can peek out of it. And maybe Harry's mind is like the trapdoor, and he's arguing with his own head of whether to like really get out of it.
Or like he feels like he's in a tricky situation, or he's bound to get caught out somewhere.
Yeah, and I feel like that kind of relates in the music video as well, which
Yeah,
obviously
definitely.
we'll get into.
Definitely, and I think the line "You're toying with me," it's like a bit of frustration, like we're messing about, we're playing around, like it feels a bit treacherous.
I think also, because I wrote about the lyric "in no good state to receive," I think that's in a verse, but I'm not.
I think it's the third verse.
The third verse, yeah. I thought it was a thing of, because he can't receive the love that he wants because his mind isn't in the headspace to be able to like take it in, even if it's what he craves the most, and he's like too consumed by his own struggles and faults to be able to take what he wants most, which is like struggles are stopping him from having.
I think that also relates to something else he said in the Zane Lowe interview, where he said he had imposter syndrome after winning Album of the Year, and that could be a big part of it, just feeling like undeserving and
yeah, so he's not even
out
allowing
of
himself
yeah
to take it in.
Yeah.
because-
exactly.
Especially because that could be an internal thing, but then also there was a lot of backlash when he did win, because Beyonce didn't win, and people were like,
Backlash being you.
well, I would never go send that hate outwardly ever.
Externally.
No, never. You're allowed your opinion. Everyone thinks
Of
someone
course.
else deserves to win over someone else, but you know, you'd never go tell people
No,
online,
of
because
course.
why do they need to hear what you think? It's fact now.
If it's not going to help them, why would you?
Just
No.
calling out all the keyboard
And it's
warriors.
like, it's fact now. The award is in your hands. No
Yeah.
one, no amount
That's
of words
done.
can change it.
Did we actually mention that what Aperture actually is? Yeah, as in like it's a light. It's about.
I've got
The
a
definition?
reference from photographylife.com.
The Harvard reference.
Aperture is the opening in a lens through which light passes through, and Styles takes the lyric literally. Like, aperture does let the light in, but he's talking about it in the context of like acknowledging all your problems, and your lack of knowledge can be so freeing, and let the light into your life and just make everything better. Like once you embrace the ugly, you can live.
Yeah, and I feel like it does show that he's not maybe fully gotten to that point yet, especially when he's like asked questions later, because from that I got that he's kind of delaying, like accepting and
There's the
working on
awareness,
Mhm.
but the work isn't fully completed yet. It's a work in progress.
Yeah. Like once you notice it, then change starts to happen.
It's like how you have ups and downs. It's like in his lyric, "It finally appears." I think it's a reference to the light that has been let in so far, because by admitting like his problems and his secrets, essentially it's allowed him to become better as a person, and it's not
Mhm.
only improved his own life but maybe the people around him as well.
Yeah.
I think because the light in's probably, it might not even just be not getting rid of, but accepting and working on his problems. It might be the people in his life that's now allowed to come back in once he's
Yeah.
cleared his mind a bit, I think.
Yeah, definitely. And I think now is a good time to like discuss the music video.
Yeah, the music video.
Yeah, it came out obviously before the album, and it's choreographed by the same guy that choreographed Chandelier by Sia and quite a few other things as well.
You mentioned the Brits performance.
Yeah, he did
Aperture was
choreograph the
done by
Brits
that.
performance, and I recognised that was quite apparent, like after watching the Brits performance and then seeing that it was the same guy that did the chandelier. I need to find that name somewhere.
It's very like
Yeah.
expressive movement mixed with like zero facial
It's very
expression.
interpretive
Yeah.
dance, abstract, quirky, if you will. He's been known to be described as flamboyant. He's done a
Wacky.
lot of other stuff too, but yeah, I think the whole concept of the music video is so interesting because I watched it for the first time and I was so baffled.
Yeah, I think without actually diving into the lyrics of the song, it might not make sense.
Yeah, definitely, because I watched it after like 1 or 2 listens of the song, and I remember looking at you and being like,
What the is going on?
I'm kind of concerned, like, because I've been a big Harry Styles fan since One Direction, and I've kind of followed him through his career, and for me, I'm sort of taking a step back for now until I maybe understand the album a bit more. When I have my moment to dive in and enjoy the album properly, I tend to give albums time to let the hype die down, so I have like an unbiased opinion.
That's fair. Yeah. Because I feel like opinions do just get thrown out nowadays.
Infiltrated constantly.
And I feel like it's a thing of when people are throwing out their opinions, they have to be right. Like, and that's kind of what this podcast isn't about.
Especially Harry Styles fans. Like, they will believe that their opinion is fact.
Yeah, that's the whole
And
point.
they're very terrifying people sometimes. The minority of Harry Styles fans can be
I think
scary
every fan
online.
base has that though, which is
Yeah, like Taylor
disheartening,
Swift.
But it's like people are allowed to hate an album, people are allowed to love it. That's kind of the whole point of this
People are allowed
podcast.
to
It's to
just
share the opinions.
be
and,
indifferent.
yeah.
Yeah.
you know, and I think you can hate and love an album at the same time, I think. I know that
Pros
might
and
be
cons, yeah.
controversial, but
You can
feel
think
like
something's really good about it and something, oh, I wouldn't
it's
have done
shit,
that, or
like-
that wasn't my favourite part.
Yeah. Like, I've sort of taken the project as it is. Obviously, he did SNL, he's done Aperture, he's done interviews, he's done quite a lot of like media around it. He obviously did the Brits, and for me, it's just not something I want to explore right now. Like, I'm taking it for like face value at the moment, and it's like, I'll give it a listen when there's less hype about it and less like people talking about it can affect my opinion as well. But yeah, the music video, I think after gaining some perspective, it does represent the song well. Like, after we had a conversation about it, it does make sense, but it's very...
because I mean, if you haven't
quirky.
watched the music video yet, you've got Harry Styles obviously at the forefront, and you've got this other guy essentially chasing him like
Mm-hmm.
the game Temple Run.
Yeah,
you know, it's-
yeah, very much so. At the beginning, it's like, why is he watching me? Why is he lingering near me?
Yeah.
Like, it's very uncomfortable.
It's
And then there's a moment where out of nowhere, this guy just starts running at him, and it's like something from a horror film. It's quite scary.
And I feel like that might kind of hint at like panic attacks, anxiety attacks. I don't know.
I think it's the
about-
fact that
the
like
thoughts.
Harry sees him and it's clear that he has fear of it.
Yeah.
Like he kind of does in the song, where it's like the fear of the unknown, fear of what
It's like when something
might happen, and then because there's that fear, it then feels like it's being chased him. It feels like it's a bad thing I need to avoid.
Yeah, and that's
and
why he
then-
like crashes into stuff, to like the vending
Yeah,
machine
it's
and
like-
stuff like that.
He's falling down the stairs. It's like
I think similar to
really
what
interesting.
you were saying about trapdoors, I think when I mentioned like the treacherous territory and like it can feel really scary and you don't quite know where you're going, I think that's a really good reference to falling down the stairs. I think that's quite a direct translation there.
Because you don't really know when you're going to stop falling downstairs, do you?
Exactly. And it was like, I really like how it was a downward spiral.
Yeah, because it feels like it's just going to keep going.
Yeah.
And there was like multiple layers, wasn't there, as well? They weren't even, I feel like it wasn't even the same staircase. I feel like there was multiple staircases.
It was like,
So-
yeah, there were like loads surrounding it as well. So it's just like, what am I looking at? What am I
Yeah.
watching?
And obviously later on, it's like he sees him again, kind of in like a similar setting, and then he runs at him instead. Like he's like, I'm just gonna go in full face, like it doesn't matter. And then he then uplifts him, and then it's like they then are in sync, they're in coordination, and they do like the choreography together. And then that's the kind of representation that like
He lifts
if I
him
just
up
if I just go forward and just
head
face
first.
it, head first,
Yeah.
things might just be okay, and it might just sync up with me.
And he gets lifted up, and it's
Yeah.
like the Dirty Dancing lift.
Yeah.
I liked that reference. I don't know if it was intentional, but and I love how it coincides with the euphoric feel of the chorus with the layered vocals and the specific lyric, like "We belong together."
Yeah.
It finally appears, it's only love, and it's like he's being spun around and he's smiling and he's having fun, and then they just start dancing together, and it's like things are working, things are happening, things are coming together.
And it's like, you've got that, I think it's kind of the most famous scene of like the music video.
Mhm.
It's on like, I guess on Spotify you can get those you get the little clip.
As the song plays, yeah.
He's going up the elevator. And I think in the music video you can see the guy follows him behind, but Harry's just looking back. He's not running up the escalator.
He's
just
indifferent to it.
I think he's accepting it's always going to be there.
Mm.
But you can still move forward with your life. And
I think that's him just being like, if I pretend it's not there, it's not.
Yeah.
Like if I don't acknowledge it, if I don't look at it, I can pretend it's not there, and then it's like, well, no, you can't.
Yeah, because to be fair, there's the beginning bit where he's so scared of it. There's the second bit where he's like so accepting of it, and in the end, it kind of is like a cycle where like he goes back to his hotel room where he was at the beginning, and it kind of shows that maybe I can see the good, I can see the bad. I'm not fully decided yet where I'm going. Kind of.
Yeah, and I like that when he gets back to the hotel room at the end, he's like, "We belong together," and he's like,
he's sitting with it.
Yeah, I couldn't put it better myself. Like, he's like, oh, yeah, that was that.
That's what it
like
is.
he's kind of reflecting on it, and he's like, yeah, this is nice. And I think it's a really well done music video, which is the opposite of my first initial opinion.
Yeah, initially we were like,
I was like, what is? I remember we watched it together because you hadn't seen it, and we were like,
You're right.
You're right, love. Like, whoever is behind this was doing something. Don't know what it was.
Couple keys.
But it
Who
was
knows?
something. Yeah. Couple keys is crazy. But then when you actually look at the lyrics and do some deep diving, it just makes a lot of sense, and it comes together, and it actually ends up being a really nice watch.
That's kind of how I felt about the song as well. Like, I felt like the more I listened to it, like, you do have to like understand it.
The more context you gauge.
Yeah, and I think the same would be for the album, because I've only given it one full listen through, and I wasn't really understanding or getting the vibe of like what this album's point of view is. Like, I didn't know what he was trying to say with it, but I think maybe that's just a me thing, and I should give it more time.
And I think you get different type of listeners. You get listeners that just want to enjoy the sound of it.
Yeah.
Like, they don't really care about the lyrics.
People that aren't.
I think that's why Aperture is a lead, to be honest, because I think I'm someone that, like, before I even liked it, I was like, but the chorus is catchy. You'll find me going, we belong together. Because
You will walk
it's
around
like
singing
anthemic.
it.
You'll just go around, you'll have a good day listening to it, but then if you listen to it, you're like, oh, I actually feel that too. And maybe other songs like on the album are like
I feel
that
like
as
that's
well.
the fun part of it.
Mm.
I mean, I guess it's
Definitely.
always lyricists. We're like,
He's attracting both
it's really nice to
Parties.
just
Yeah.
divulge into it.
I do think that, like, the chorus, it can be relatable on kind of any level. Like, once you address something.
Quite commercial, I think, maybe.
Yeah, and
I'd say so.
I also think that just like lyrically, like, it can resonate with a lot of people. Like, we belong together. Aperture lets the light in. It's like whenever you make any kind of breakthrough or realization, or you become comfortable with a part of yourself or your life.
Yeah, I was gonna say there was a lyric that I wanted to touch on. It's lost my blue tack isn't strong. Sorry.
We're on a budget here.
We're on a budget.
We're breaking the fourth
1
wall.
year old
Not
blue
everyone's
tack.
perfect, guys.
Yeah. It's dance halls and another cadence. I don't know if you remember that
never
lyric.
understood that lyric.
I thought it was like,
She does.
well, she's reaching for the
He's
stars.
understood-ish.
Yeah, understood-ish. This isn't ish. This is the ish part. You get lost in dance halls. It's usually flooded with people, very compact. You struggle to hear your own thoughts because it's so loud sometimes. And I think it's also a place where a lot of drama can happen, but it can also be a place where it can be fun and you can feel free. And I feel like you can sometimes choose how it ends up for you being in like a dance hall, like a club, that type of thing. So you kind of pick your own
Like, it
ending.
can be overwhelming,
Yeah.
or you can just
And-
enjoy.
Yeah, and you get to pick your own cadence, essentially your own ending.
Yeah.
Towards
I
it.
forget what the lyric is before that, but I think it's another juxtaposition. Is that where he's talking about the trapdoors? You're toying with me. Like, I think
Oh.
that's another
Yeah,
juxtaposition in that verse. The trapdoors is like, again, the fear of falling through, the fear of like, if I open this, what's going to happen?
Yeah.
I think the dance halls, and then he's saying another cadence, it's like, that's a shift in me. And I think the dance hall is the free part that can then go, okay, no, I can accept it. It's fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
With
Trapdoors, dance halls.
yeah, another cadence. I think, it's on the back of what you said, in reference to trapdoors and then dance halls. Love the fact that they rhyme, so it feels like they're in conjunction with each other.
Yeah.
And another cadence, it's like you walk in to a dance hall, and then you start dancing. You change the way you are. You change the way you're moving, you change the way you're walking, you
Yeah.
change your whole cadence. And I think that's a thing with his going forward. I'm going to be different.
I think he's accepting as well that like it's just like another part of him. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be like I'm this one way with fear or I'm this one way where I'm free.
Mm.
He's like, sometimes I'll feel free, sometimes I'll feel like I don't have any power at all. And I think he's just
And
like,
that's okay.
I think that's the point where like he's like letting the light in. He's like, I don't have to change the fact that I am unwilling or I have fear.
Mm.
I just have to be acknowledging the fact that sometimes I have fear, sometimes I'm free. And that's okay.
I like that. I
As
like
humans,
that a lot.
that
I
is
like-
all of us.
I like that take a lot, actually.
Definitely.
Should we see what other people thought? Should we see what other people thought?
You have a sip of water?
Yeah, let's have a drink, guys. Ew. Lubrication. Lubrication.
Okay.
That's okay. Plug.
Understood.
Red grape juice, guys. Get at it.
Should we get on to other people's opinions?
Please.
So we've got an Instagram, obviously. This day and age, you've got to market yourself everywhere.
Pod.
And we asked for
We-
your opinions.
Yeah, so whenever we do this, we'll be posting stories with polls or questions. And we want your feedback. We want your 2 pence. We want to know what you think. We want to know how you feel, whether it's bad, good, indifferent. We want to be able to talk about your guys' opinions and see if we can figure out a general consensus of how everyone's feeling, see if we're on the same wavelength. Because we could have an interpretation of a lyric and you could be like, oh, actually, I think it was this in a different context. So please enlighten us. Let us have
Like, don't be scared
extra
to
perspectives.
share.
I know there's 3 of us, but it's still not enough. We
Mhm.
we want to be able to put your guys'
Opinions forward.
opinions into the conversation.
We did little question polls, but I think there is like a word limit on those. So I think next time for our next episode, I think we try like a Google form or just like DM us
Oh,
directly
yeah.
what
Yeah.
you think.
Or just drop us a message.
Yeah,
Giving us songs.
just a little
We
DM.
don't bite, you know.
It's alright.
Just give us a message. Give us a comment. Whatever.
Starting with a funny one on my personal, because, we're trying to get a widespread of answers. I reposted the pod story on mine. Somebody said that Harry Styles is still around. And that
Question mark?
Yeah.
question mark.
Yeah.
They were surprised that Harry Styles was actually
He did. He
Mm.
did disappear for a while
Yeah.
after touring. And Aperture was his.
Yeah.
breakout.
That also might be another thing. Like Aperture lets the light in. He's back. He's addressed everything, guys. Let the light in. Be free. Have fun.
I think going off what that person said though, I think I was speaking to someone yesterday while writing up my notes for this, and they were kind of saying about how we were talking about how kind of I think a lot of what he holds now as like a fan base is, sorry to say, a bit of like nostalgia fans where they like either loved One Direction or they were like around for his self-titled album.
Was it Love on Tour? Was it?
Yeah, they're just kind of holding on to the older him, because I can't, and the person I was speaking to was like, I can't see him like really gaining any new fans today. Like I don't think people are listening to Aperture and being like,
Oh wow, this is fresh.
this is like, oh my god, I've never heard of Harry Styles before, let me be a fan. Do you know what I mean? I
Yeah.
think
Mm.
it's mostly people who know of him.
He's going into it established.
And I think there are people that like definitely haven't been checking for Harry Styles before, and then maybe heard something that was more like electronic, like Aperture, and was like, oh, this is more me. Let me take a
I guess
listen.
it's kind of like a vulnerable thing because it's kind of a switch to what he usually does, and sometimes people can hate it and be like, what's happened to Harry Styles? He's gone downhill, gone to rock bottom, his music's shit. So that's what some people probably say. And then you've got the opposite where people are like, oh, I love this switch, it's great, I want to hear more, essentially.
When you're a big artist, it's always like there will be people that love it, there'll be people that like it, and there'll be people that will be going, what the is this? Why is it number one?
You're right.
Yeah, right. Like, people will be really confused, but
I do think that the loyal fans he has, like his solid fan base, will follow him on any journey. Like, he could have brought out a metal album and they'd be like,
yeah.
like from Harry's House, and like what's the way to put it? He was delving into like wearing very feminine clothes and you know, feeding to that audience of and enjoying him like in dungarees and pink and being
Sparkly,
very flamboyant,
glitter.
yeah,
rhinestoned.
and theatrical. I'm rhinestoned in. But I think the transition into disco per se, because one of my comments on one of the comments I saw on the Instagram was, this is a disco album. Like, I was expecting more disco. Yeah, I kind of have to agree. Like, the production is incredible, don't get me wrong. It's Kid Harpoon.
Sounds expensive.
It's Kid Harpoon who was on As It Was, and he did songs like Flowers by Miley Cyrus. So his sound is obviously elevated and polished, but I think there isn't, you know, when you have disco in the name of an album, you kind of expect
wouldn't
some
necessarily
disco.
call it fully disco. There's a lot of like, I know like one instrument doesn't put you in or out of a category, but there's a lot of like strings and like different types of strings, like plucked strings and stuff like that. And it's not as, you know, when you hear disco and you think boom, 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 like that type of stuff, it's not. I kind of get Aperture, definitely.
Yeah.
But some of the songs
I
in
wouldn't
there,
even say. To me, that's
I said
that's,
yes, and then I was like,
that's like an electro pop song to me.
I feel like it's the feeling of being in a disco because it's quite muted.
Yeah, because it is called disco occasionally. I think it's more he's playing on the Kiss all the time. Like, he's like, he's willing to do that kind of thing.
Kiss all the time.
Even if there's fear behind it, and the disco occasionally, I think it's the feeling of being free.
Still having fun.
It's like with the song Dance No More, which I don't really like, but, you know, hey, diplomatic. It's kind of like, just that song is just about being free and being on the dance floor and like feeling. He said in an interview, I'm pretty sure it was like about being the most free he's ever been, and I'm pretty sure he was in like Paris or something, and just the feeling of dancing as a human being, just like freeing you up. So I think the disco occasionally is that more so feeling rather than the music. But then again, I think it being at your album title is like kind of misleading. But
if you do, and there's a disco ball on there, like, I don't know.
He's also in like On a Mountain, so like,
yeah, I did kind of expect
something.
at least homage to disco, homage, like some references to disco, even like, and you know, you could argue that there are some references. It's just a bit more experimental, especially because for me, Harry will always be a pop artist. I can't say he is, because you can't put someone in a box, but I will always see him as a pop artist, and I think that's what he's done.
Electro pop, like you said.
Definitely.
And I think,
But experimental. It's like pop but elevated, but not necessarily disco.
as an artist like Harry, having so many albums out and having to essentially pump them out because the industry forces you to sometimes, I think it's sometimes nice to have a mixture of genre. I know an album is meant to be quite put together and cohesive, but I think you must get bored of that eventually.
Yeah.
And you want to experiment with different things.
Definitely.
It's like, not plugging myself here, guys, but it's like how my album doing folk and pop, but there's going to be like electronic elements and songs in there, but I feel like it still fits within the category of like the lyricism and stuff like that. There's different types of subgenres of what the album plays into. I don't know what your thoughts are, but
no, I do think it is important to obviously if certain artists don't want to do this, that's fine, but I do think as musicians in general, it's good to constantly branch out and bend the rules of what genre is
and
like,
what your fans think you are. Like, stay true to who you are, but like kind of bend their perspective and, oh, I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if you keep making this kind of the same album in a different font every year, people will go, oh, okay, we've heard your album
again,
before.
the same thing again.
I feel like
We've
that's
heard
what.
it.
I mean, I love them, but I feel like that's what people think about cigarettes after sex. Sometimes on one of their albums, like, as in they think that, but to be fair, I haven't listened to the whole albums in full, so I can't be a judge.
I do get confused between cigarette songs. Like, they do all sound the same. And sorry, is that bad to say? Like, to me, they all kind of blur into one. And I know they do tell different stories. And there are a couple where I could be like, no, that's that one. No, that's that one.
They're just like extremely cohesive. Like, they do feel
They
all
know
in
their
the same.
sound. They know their sound. They know what fits them well. They're going to wear it, you know? But I do think it is important to, like, surprise people sometimes.
Yeah, branch
or
out.
be like, hey, I can do this.
And I think it's just fun for yourself, is nice.
Definitely.
To be honest.
You learn
like,
more about yourself.
Exactly.
Mm.
And probably you'll add things into your songs that you never would have before. So,
Absolutely.
is there any songs that you want to talk about briefly, would you say, in the album that struck you with either hate, love, you know, dance with me?
Dance No More.
Dance No More. God.
One of the songs I actually really connected with and felt like it didn't have what the rest of the album I think was lacking, which like to me is like clear point of view, perspective, individuality in it, was Taste Back. I think it really captures a connected feeling that a lot of people can feel, where you think, you know, someone kind of comes back to you and you don't know whether they've realised what they've lost or they just need the comfortability.
You just need a little love. You just need a little
They just need the comfortability of what they already have known. And that kind of connects to Aperture, where he kind of doesn't know what he knows all the time. So then he's willing to let people back in if they don't know what they know either.
Wow,
Or don't know what they
Mm.
want, really, because
so
he's
fair.
like, well, this is comfortable for both of us then. But I think it was really beautifully said. And I kind of wish there'd been more of that vulnerability throughout the album.
That's a valid point. Very valid point.
It's like, I think American Girls is kind of more fun, like just a fun listen, like less. Maybe that's the fun part.
Less serious.
Maybe that's the less serious part he wants in his life. I guess.
I looked at
but
the meaning and it's about his friends getting married.
yeah.
Yeah, he did say that in an interview at some point where he was like, oh, my friends have babies and I'm married and I'm just not in that era of my life. Like, I think he's still holding on to, I say still holding on to, you can have fun throughout your whole life, but I think he's
Feeling like he's maybe straggling behind a bit.
He's like, no, I think he's just acknowledging, like, that's not for me right now. That's not the life I want to live right now.
Fair enough.
I think he's having fun and having fun, still discoing and working on stuff.
Discoing.
Did I really? Discoing.
Discoing.
Anyway.
Dancing.
I like the song Pop. I've listened to it a couple of times.
Yeah.
For me, it's reminiscent of cinema because he makes a lot of references to popping, which is obviously a rather sexual reference. I like the musicality of it. I like that it feels like a direct translation of Growth from Harry's House. And it feels very like grown up.
Yeah. I mean,
I think pop to me sounds like, at least the chorus is like commercial, and it's like, I don't want to say kiddish, but like it's a bit, it would work well for younger audiences,
Yeah.
I think.
mhm.
Yeah, it could be a kids bop.
Kids Bop, get on it. But yeah, no, as I said earlier, coming up roses. Oh my god.
Coming up with roses.
Coming up with
roses. Coming up roses. I think the instrumental is really beautiful in it, and the use of the instruments. I didn't get to divulge fully into the lyrical content of it. I don't know if you guys did at all, if that one stuck out, but I think like the general sound of it was really nice, I think, with the album. Not very disco at all. But
I think the overall consensus is it's not what we expected. It's maybe not as deep as we'd hoped, but we're like big lyric people. If you know, correct me if I'm wrong, but we love deep
Of course
lyrics.
not.
We love metaphors and double entendres, triple entendres, and deep meanings and context. And I think that we can stand here and say, do you know what? Fair
You
play.
did what you wanted.
Yeah.
Fair play. Like, it does feel like he's evolved and like it does feel like a bit more of a, I know you said like pop feels a bit kiddish, but I think it does feel mature for him. Like he's done a lot of rock, a lot of really playful sounds, and I think this is like, it does give like growth and self-reflection.
Yeah.
And I think, Harry, you're understoodish.
Officially.
At least this
Officially
album.
understood-ish.
Yeah. Thank you for joining us on
Our
my
very first
couch.
episode.
Let us know any recommendations you have.
This has been really fun.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
Bye.
Thanks for joining.
Plug me back.